I have traveled a lot over the years. I've been to almost every US state, all 7 continents, including Antarctica, and over 30 countries around the world. Over the years, I've been on more plane flights than I can even count. And if you've ever been on a plane flight before, you know that the plane Wi-Fi sucks, if it even has it. It does not work at all, right? So good luck trying to play an online multiplayer game, because that's probably not going to happen. Over the years, I've figured out what are some of the best games that you can play that are completely offline. You don't need any internet to play them, and they pass the time super fast, so the 10-hour plane flight feels like it's only 4 hours. They're really good games, and I've played these games for years, and as a gaming YouTuber myself, I think you guys are probably going to enjoy them. I hope you do enjoy this video and you learned something new. If you do, make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below. It really helps me out a lot, lets me know that you guys would like to see more videos like this, because I could definitely do this as a regular series as more offline games come out. But yeah, with that being said, hope you can use these for your next travels, and let's get into this. Starting things off here, we have a game called Grand Mountain Adventure. I absolutely love this game. This is one of my favorite games of all time, and it's a beautiful open world skiing and snowboarding game. If you love snow, you're gonna love this game. This game is open world, and it has many different maps, all set in different countries like Finland, Germany, Austria, and a couple of other places, and you can basically go anywhere that you can actually see on the map. It's insane. You can go on top of roofs. You can knock little children over. You can get attacked by bears. It's absolutely insane. You can jump onto different race courses and try to beat your best time, get medals, unlock more stuff, and it's just a really, really fun game where you can trick around and do tons of other stuff, and it's, you know, if you like open world games, and you want to do one that's offline, that's really fun, and if you like anything to do with winter sports, this is probably a great game for you. Grand Mountain Adventure is really fun. It's going to provide hours of fun, as a matter of fact, and one of my favorite games of all time. Next up, though, this is probably my favorite mobile game of all time. This is called Thumb Drift, and maybe you've heard of it, maybe you've not, but this game is an extremely difficult game that's going to take many, many hours to actually master. This is why it's great for a plane flight, because you're not going anywhere for hours, you know? You have time to actually master this thing. There's a billion different cars that you can unlock, a bunch of different maps, and you have to try and drift your car around all of these obstacles and not hit anything. If you hit anything, you die and your run is ended. And I'm actually genuinely curious if anybody can actually beat my scores. These are scores that I have set over the past, like, 5 years. So if you can manage to beat any of my scores, then tweet at me at Exotic Gaming, and I'd be very curious to see how well you do. But it's such a fun game. I mean, they even have the PewDiePie Brofist car. It's just freaking awesome. I love this game so much, and I'll be playing this for many years more. Next up, though, we have a combination of 2 different games that we're going to be talking about. Both of these games pretty much have the same premise behind them, but one of them I personally think is better than the other. However, if you'd like a really simple game, maybe you're on a bumpy road and you can't really focus too much on a storyline, this is a game called Hole.io, and it's very simple. You spawn in a map, and for 2 minutes, you're able to grow the hole that you spawn in, and you have to get bigger and bigger and basically try to eat the entire city or ocean or wherever the heck else you spawn in. It's really fun, and you can actually eat almost the entire city. I think my best score is like 96% of everything, and it's a pretty, you know, skill-based game. It's definitely going to take some time to get used to, but it's really, really fun, and when you're actually doing this offline and there's not 50 billion ads that are going to bombard you when you're playing it, it's really, really fun. You can also play with your friends and see who can get a better score, and I like it. Hole.io. However, if you'd like to play the better version of this game, in my personal opinion, there's a game called Donut Country. Donut Country is an extremely well-made mobile game. It's got an entire storyline. It's basically Hole.io with hours and hours of a really, really cool storyline. There's this guy that apparently is playing Donut Country on his phone inside the video game, and he, like, destroys his entire city because he keeps eating everything up in the video game, and then it causes him to actually do that in real life. And then you basically follow along as this little hole, and it works really well with the storyline. It sounds crazy, but it's a very interactive and immersive game. It's got a really great artwork style, and I just love this game so much. I don't know which one of the two came out first, if it was Donut Country or Hole.io, but regardless, I would say if you have a bit more space on your phone, get Donut Country, because this thing is freaking awesome. However, we can't spend all day on these games. We gotta go to the next one here. The fourth game I'd like to talk about is Cover Fire. Now, if you're a FPS game fanatic or a shooting game fanatic, then this is a game that you might want to try out. I've talked about this game in the past. I've even made an entire video on this game before, and this game is a story-based, single-player, offline shooting game, where you basically have to go mission after mission, take out harder and harder enemies, and I just love how this game is designed. It's very smooth. It's not clunky at all. It's very satisfying when you kill enemies, and when you see like that final enemy, it'll actually slow down time and show an animation of the bullet like piercing through the enemy, and then their body flies across the map. It's really cool, and I like this game a lot. I've also played this game more than most of these other games on this list. The only other ones I've played more so were probably Grand Mountain Adventure and Thumb Drift. It's just a really fun game, and if you like anything to do with shooting, then this might be the game for you. However, complete change of pace here. If you do not like those types of games that I mentioned earlier, and you would rather play a puzzle game, this is Flow Free. It's very simple. It's basically connect the dots, but you can't have your lines go over any other lines, right? You have to fill up the entire board with lines connecting one dot to another of the same color, and it's really cool. There's like, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 levels. It's going to take a long time before you ever complete every single one of those levels, and some of them get absolutely ridiculous, like 14 by 14 size boards, and it takes like 10 minutes to complete just one of the levels. It's a really, really fun game, and, you know, even my mom likes to play this game, so I mean, you know, even if you're not that big of a gamer, Flow Free might be the type of game for you. There are other games out there that do a pretty similar thing, but Flow Free is the original one, I believe. So, hey, show the developers some credits, download this thing, and have some fun. But we've got to continue on, and if you like anything to do with cars, or maybe GTA 5, or any other open-world car racing game, then Extreme Car Driving Simulator might be the game for you. This game is essentially a single-player GTA game where you basically drive around the maps. You have a lot of different areas of the map. You have an airport, you have this off-road course area, and then you have the main city. You also have these different courses that you can complete in a certain amount of time. You have little things that you can collect and then unlock other cars. So it's not just this Lamborghini that I'm driving right here. There's a lot of other vehicles that you can drive within this map, like a Hummer and other stuff like that. And it's just really fun. It's going to provide you hours of fun just driving around in this open world car game. I love these types of games because I've always loved the open world car racing games. That's why GTA 5 is one of my favorite video games of all time. And yeah, Extreme Car Driving Simulator. It's a really, really fun game. However, let's continue on here and let's talk about 8-Ball Pool. 8-Ball Pool is pool. And what you can actually do is play this game offline. You might think originally that this game is only a multiplayer game, but you can practice offline, and this is perfect if you maybe want to either do it yourself and practice trick shots in pool and stuff like that, or maybe you want to play with a friend, and then you can do this pass and play type of game mode where you can basically have two different players that play in an offline game pool. It's as simple as that. Now, I've loved 8-Ball Pool ever since this game came way before mobile devices. I've played this game longer than any other game on this list, probably for about 10 years. I don't know. This game came out on miniclip.com back maybe like 2011, 2012, many, many years ago, or maybe even earlier than that, and I remember playing the game back then. So the fact that it finally came for mobile devices many years later was awesome, and this game is the best pool game that you can play right now on mobile devices. However, big change of pace here. Let's talk about another puzzle-related game. This is called Polysphere, and this is actually one of my most favorite puzzle games right now on mobile devices. It's a very beautiful game, I guess you could say, very artistic, and what you essentially do is you click on a level and you try to rotate all of those little bits and pieces until you form this beautiful picture. I love the artistic design of this game, and yeah, essentially what you're doing is you're forming all of these new things that you don't know what they are until you actually swipe those bits and pieces just in the right position. I like how it doesn't tell you what it is beforehand, so when you see a bunch of orange, you're kind of just like, what is this? Is this going to be a fruit? Is this some kind of orange animal? And you don't know until you actually form it. It's a very satisfying thing once you actually get all of those bits and pieces together in the right position, and I like this game a lot. This is also a game that my mother likes a lot, and my girlfriend, who are both not gamers, and, you know, so even if you're not really that much of a gamer, this might be the game for you. Now, coming toward the end here, we have another game that I'd like to talk about. This is a game that I have played for many years, and it's called Flappy Golf. This is Flappy Golf 2. There's also Flappy Golf 1. You can choose which one you like better. I remember long ago I used to play Flappy Golf 1 in school, in high school, and now I am just about ready to graduate college, so you can see how many years I've been playing this game. But I would always sit there with my friends and try to see if I can complete the level in the least amount of hits as possible. It's basically golf in a 2D world, but it's going up and down and stuff like that, and it's really, really cool. It's a very unique style of golf game. This was pretty much one of the original big mobile golf games, and it stood the test of time. It's such a fun game. There are hundreds and hundreds of levels, and if you want to actually try to get gold on every single level, it's going to take a long, long time. Perfect for long plane flights. And finally, closing things off here, we have a game that I've recently started playing again. I took a break from this game for a while, but it's called Tomb of the Mask. Tomb of the Mask is another, I guess, puzzle adventure type of game where what you have to do is climb along the edges of the walls, collect all the little dots that you can see right there, sort of like Pac-Man in a way, and try to avoid all of the dangerous spots in the map. There are certain areas where little spikes will come out of the ground. There are other things that like blow up into the size of jellyfish and other very unique, dangerous areas of the map that make it a very fun puzzle game. I love the artistic style of this game. It's very unique compared to everything else, very dark, so it's also perfect at nighttime when you're playing on a plane flight and you don't want to have the light too bright to mess everybody up. And it's just a really fun game that I think a lot of people would really, really enjoy. Tomb of the Mask, it's going to provide you hours and hours of fun. And with that, with me talking about Tomb of the Mask, I guess that sort of wraps everything up. It was really hard to come up with 10 games, and I could probably make like 10 different videos, 20 different videos regarding this. If this video does well, I'd love to make it an actual series so we can actually talk about every game that I play. Because I have to say, if I show you guys on my phone right here, I have a little bit more than just 10 games that I play. There we go. You guys can sort of see this. I have a bit more than 10 games, but those are the 10 that I would recommend people to play more than anything else, and I really, really enjoy them. I've enjoyed them for years, and I really think you guys would as well. So, hey, regardless whether you're going on a plane flight or a long road trip, I hope you're going to enjoy these games. Try them out. They're all free to download, I think. If not, well, hey, they might cost a couple of dollars, but they're going to be worth it in the end if I've been playing them for this many years. So, yeah, I'll put the links to them down below in the description. Thank you so much for staying this far. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe down below, and I will see you all later.